Good morning. So I'm at Sam Moore's shelter. I don't know if I said that last night, and I don't think I wrapped it up last night. I was really exhausted, and there were a lot of people in camp, and they were exhausted, and people generally went to bed early, and then this morning people were getting up, so I didn't want to good morning in my tent. So I'm making breakfast. Yesterday I didn't have breakfast and I regretted it. And today I'm having breakfast. Even though I have to go 3 miles or so to Bear's Den Hostel. But it's over a really, I've heard, tricky part of the roller coaster. Those ups were, I don't know if it was the ups or the rocks or what, but it was, some of the ups were straight up, and I know I'm rambling. So this one is pretty steep, I heard, and then you go down into Spout Run and then up to Bear's Den, so it shouldn't be too bad. But anyways, I'm eating breakfast so that I will be fueled, because yesterday I was not fueled, and then I'll get going. So I just thought of something I wanted to talk to you about while I opened my grits bowl that didn't open because my hands were greasy. So when I came to sit down at the table, it looks like this. See that? Mess? There's a mess all over the table. It's ridiculous. Some hikers are conscientious. Some hikers are not. So, there was a gal here last night who wasn't very pleasant. Let's just put it that way. Her tramley friends were pleasant. In fact, one of them was amazing. I think he was like the compensator. It was funny. You get a group of people and you get someone who takes the lead. This is a tramley people. Somebody who's in charge, or you got a navigator, you got somebody who smooths things over, and then you've got somebody who is difficult. Or that's what I've seen. And because I'm my own tramley, I'm all those things. How funny. Okay, grits are cooking. And, oh yeah, when I got here, I was exhausted, and I went into the shelter, which is super clean and super nice. And, when I go into shelter, I'm always wondering, okay, how bad are the mice here? And it didn't look too bad. And I put my feet up on the wall, took my shoes off, put my feet off, kind of took a little 10-minute snooze, and then when I sat up, there's a huge black rat snake slithering under the platform in front of the the shelter. And I'm like, oh, and I yelled, snake! And people came running over. They were sitting at the table. And we all watched that snake slide under the deck. And then we knew there is no mice problem here at this shelter. Is that tramley. I think a couple of the people in that tramley are in Front Royal. They're a little bit behind, but they're very excited to get to Harper's Ferry. And this group of kids that I was with last night, night before last, they were excited about getting to Front Royal, trying to figure out where they were going to stay and that kind of thing. If they were going to, Harper's Ferry, if they were going to stay, that kind of thing, or if they were going to just hike through. A lot of people have family that are coming. There's just all the things for the people who've hiked 1,000 miles. So now I have to wait for my grits to cook. Actually, it's more like the scrambled eggs. Have to rehydrate. So, bear's done for an arrow. And then I'll be 10 miles through the 13 miles, my ear's itch, of the roller coaster. And then it's relatively downhill into Harper's Ferry. I can't believe I'm going to be in Harper's Ferry. I can't believe I made it 500 miles. 500 miles. And nearly 30 pounds. And 3 pairs of shoes. And lots of trauma. And heartache. And injuries. And all the things. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think it's about time to eat breakfast. This is the spring that we had for this shelter. And this is the sketchy bridge. And the pavilion and the shelter beyond. So, here I go. 8 o'clock, touch after. On trail. 3 miles to Bear's Den, and a couple of ups and 1 big down. Let's go. Okay, here is the top of this hill. Some rocks here. That was a booger. A rock climb straight up. Not my favorite. So I forgot to mention that it did sprinkle a little bit last night. And the rocks are damp. I think mostly with condensation. If you want someplace cool to sit on a big rock. And, but that rain, big rain is supposed to come in today. So, I haven't had signal to check the weather. Maybe I have signal up here. I'm gonna check. So now it's raining, but that's okay, because underneath the canopy it's not that wet. But it took me an hour and a half to go 1.2 miles up over that straight up rocky and then straight down rocky mess. So it's a slow morning. and I have like a mile and a half to go. I'm working on it. Okay, here I am at the top of this mountain before Spout Run, as I go down before the mountain before Bear's Den. Tired. It's raining and I sat down on a rock to take a breather, but here we go. Time for the cicada report. So the cicada are at 70 decibels right now, and interesting thing is that they don't make noise at night. They go to sleep and turn on with the birds in the morning. Very interesting. Last night they were flying around. It's kind of weird. Anyways, that is the cicada report. Yep, it's my favorite. Green, wet, slippery rocks. This is Bear Den rocks, or Bear Rocks. Woo! This is fancy. Where does that begin? Kodiak, you're on YouTube. You're going to be on YouTube.
Excellent.
Are you in the witness protection program?
Not recently.
How about you, that guy?
No.
I just asked if anybody was in the witness protection. I think a freak slice out. Okay, everybody. Where are we? We're at Bear's Den. Right. Mile 1005. These wonderful people just walked 1,000 miles. Yay! It's Giggle's birthday. This is French Broad. Giggles.
Is anybody in that top bunk?
I am.
Nope.
You are? Is there like a available bunker?
Not in here.
Not in here, no.
Was there one right outside there to the top?
Yeah. So there's nobody in that top bunk either?
No, there's somebody in that one. Alright, you gotta restart.
You have to redo your video.
Okay. And Duck and that guy. Don't be that guy. Because he can be the only one.
Yep.
And Slice.
Slide.
Slide! Hi, everybody! This is the end of the day video. And we're here with all my new friends. Slide. That guy. Duck. Giggles. And French Broad. That's weird because when you're doing directions, it's opposite. You know, your finger here. Okay. So we had a wonderful day. Had a bad thunderstorm today. That's why we're here, because now we're, well, that's why we're here, because it's dry. We're dry, right? Yeah. Okay. So, that's it. Anything anybody wants to say?
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you, Spun Candy.
All right. Now I'm going to bed. Talk to you in the morning.